Yesterday, while we were waiting for our mystery reader to come, we started reading a story that we never finished. So I'm going to read it to you guys now so you can hear the ending. And it is a sequel. A sequel is a second book that has the same characters as the first book to a story we love a lot. We love to read Caps for Sale, and this one is Circus Caps for Sale. I'm going to read, and then I'll show you the pictures because they're a little hard to see. Caps for Sale. Early one morning, Pezzo the peddler woke up. He jumped out of bed and began to dress. First he put on his socks, next he put on his clean white shirt, then he put on his fine black and white checked trousers, and last he put on his fancy yellow shoes. Then the peddler put on his jacket and his lucky cap, picked up his wares, and he was ready to go to work. Do you remember what he does for work? He sells caps. The peddler walked fast as he could without upsetting his caps, for you see, the peddler sold caps. Only instead of carrying the caps in a bundle on his back, where did he carry them? He carried them on his head. First his own black and white checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. As soon as he got to town, he began to call out, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But the street was strangely quiet. No man stopped the peddler to try on a cap. No woman leaned out of the window to see if they were really good caps. And no children ran after the peddler. There weren't even any dogs to follow him. But as he came nearer to the town square, the peddler began to hear sounds of voices and loud music. Of course, he thought, it must be the county fair. Sure enough, the nearer he got, the clearer he saw that it was indeed a county fair. The Ferris wheel turned, the merry-go-round went round and round, and at the far end of the square, the peddler saw an enormous circus tent. "Caps for sale," the peddler began to call, but before he got to saying 50 cents a cap, boom, went a big drum as the circus parade came around the corner. "Oh, well," sighed the peddler, "he is bigger than I, and I will wait until he goes by." Next, a great big bass horn came into view and began to thump, ba, ba, ba. "Oh, well," sighed the peddler again, "he is louder than I, and I can wait until he goes by." But what came around the next corner was not just a big drum or a loud bass horn, but a whole circus band. The trumpet shrilled, the trombones blared, and the little piccolos went tweedle-dee-dee. The cymbals went bong, and the tiny triangle went ping. "Oh, well," sighed the peddler for the third time, "there are so many of them, I will just have to wait until they go by." The peddler saw the circus riders prance on their plumed white horses. He saw a truckload of trained seals and dancing dogs go by. He saw straight zebras with three long-necked giraffes, 2 double-humped camels, and 1 huge elephant. It was a wonderful parade. Even the peddler thought so, until he met Jumbo. Jumbo was the circus elephant in the parade. He liked to perform tricks to amuse the crowd. Sometimes he would simply take some peanuts from a child's hand and put them in his mouth. Sometimes he would fill his trunk with water and pretend to give him a shower. And sometimes he would steal a hat from a man in the crowd, try it on his rider's head, and return it to the stranger. Naturally, when Jumbo saw the peddler with his pile of caps, he reached for it with his long trunk. In a second, there was a very surprised elephant and a very amused crowd and a very, very sad peddler. For all the red caps, blue caps, brown caps, and gray caps came flying down in every direction. Look, they're now all on the people's heads. When the tumblers, the jugglers, and the clowns saw all the caps falling, they thought it was a new trick the big boss had added to the parade, so they each caught a cap and put it on their axe. The clowns clowned in brown caps, the tumblers tumbled in gray caps, and the jugglers did their juggling in red and blue caps. The crowd roared with laughter and everybody was delighted, except the peddler. Why isn't the peddler delighted? Down the main street and all around the town, the parade marched and the peddler running after it, calling, my caps, please give me back my caps. But nobody paid any attention to him. Nobody even heard his voice. Now how do you think he's feeling? Maybe a little angry or mad or frustrated, sad, disappointed, maybe all of those things. At last, the peddler, he gave up. He sat down on a bench under a big tree and watched the parade disappear around the corner. When the parade was over, the circus people gathered in the big top to congratulate the big boss on his clever new trick. Thank you, my friend, said the big boss, but I had nothing to do with it. Who did? Asked the jugglers. Who did? Asked the tumblers. Who did? Asked the clowns. Jumbo did, said Joe the elephant rider, and he told the circus people about the little peddler. Joe also tried to show how the peddler carried all his caps, but when he got to the first brown cap, all of the caps fell off. One of the clowns tried to put on the caps, but when he got to the first blue cap, all the caps fell down. Everybody tried. Even one of the jugglers tried, but when he got to the last red cap, all the caps fell down. Aha, said the big boss, perhaps it's not such an easy trick after all. And if it's not such an easy trick to do, my friends, does it not belong in the circus? Yes, yes, shouted all the circus people. So the big boss sent 2 tall men to find the little peddler. The peddler was not at all hard to find, for he was still sitting on a bench under the tree, thinking his sad thoughts. Oh, look at him, he's so sad. Come quickly, said the 2 tall men. The big boss himself wants to see you. So the peddler went. Hello there, said the big boss to the peddler. They tell me you carry all these caps on your head without ever dropping a single one. Neat trick, I say, if you can do it. Yes, sir, I can do it, said the peddler. He knelt in front of the caps. First, he put the bunch of brown caps on top of the bunch of gray caps. Then he put the bunch of blue caps on top of the bunch of brown caps. And then on the very top, he put a bunch of red caps. Very carefully, he picked up the whole pile and put it on top of his own black and white checked cap. Then slowly, very slowly, he got up from his knees and began to walk around calling out, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. Bravo, bravo, shouted the big boss. Bravo, 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 shouted the rest of the circus people. How would you like to do your act in the circus ring? Asked the big boss. I don't know, stammered Pezzo. I am only a peddler who sells caps, but if you really want me to, of course we do, said the big boss. There's nobody else like you. That evening, when the circus lights went on, the show was really grand. There were horse riders and elephant drivers. There were trained lions and tamed tigers. There were dancing dogs and talking seals. There were tightrope walkers and jugglers. And tumblers and clowns. And of course, there was the peddler. Everyone did their acts very well, but most of all, people liked the peddler. They clapped and whistled when they saw how he carried on top of his own black and white checked cap, the gray caps, the brown caps, the blue caps, and on the very top, the red caps, without dropping a single one. The peddler was delighted. He walked around the ring feeling very straight and tall, calling caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. After the show, Pezzo the peddler sold all his gray caps, all his brown, blue, and red caps. Some even wanted to buy his own black and white checked cap. But the peddler wouldn't part with it. It was his lucky cap, he said, and besides, it matched his own black and white checked trousers. The end. So which book did you like better? Is Caps for Sale, the original, your favorite, or Circus Caps for Sale? Which one do you choose?